Hello, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Football. Today's episode is going to be United Talk. We haven't done this in a while, and that can only be because Manchester United haven't played in what seems like forever. I was, one, a bit annoyed that our game got pushed until Monday, but two, I'm very, very excited, as well as Ibs, for this match against Newcastle at St. James's Park. I mean, there's a few things to talk about here. What you think the lineup's going to be, first of all, because it's all over the place. I don't know who's had COVID. I don't know who's recovering from COVID. I don't know who's been impressing Ralph and the management team in the training that we've had over the past few days. And I'm also a bit scared because, as we just said before the episode, what if we mess it up?
Yeah, exactly. It's been such a long time. We don't know who's in form we don't know who's really in form because it's been such a long time since we played. They've only been on the training pitch. So, as he said, surely Ralph must know who the best players are. Well, that's just from training alone. We don't know who's fit necessarily. We don't know who had COVID. So, it's quite hard to predict the lineup. I guess right now we can only predict not like what it would be, but maybe what we think is the best lineup because we have he in his interview said we have 25 players available. So that's suggesting maybe that's the whole team, the whole squad. So surely he can pick his best 11. So I guess maybe we should just start and each pick our best 11s.
But before you start, is there any players that you think don't deserve to start? I know we've had a couple of weeks since our last game. Has it been a couple of weeks?
Yeah,
Just over 2 weeks. I think it's just over 2 weeks since our last game. Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford were players that I don't think would have started against Brentford. The first game that got postponed. Do you think that's going to carry on over to this game? Or do you think because it's been so long, there's almost like a fresh restart?
No, it's just, as you just said, it's been too long. I think they're going to have a fresh start. Obviously, Brentford, they should have been dropped. Bruno in particular and Rashford as well. But now, because of those two games that got postponed, I think it's just about picking the best team from training, not based on form. I think it's just based on who he feels are the best players in the team or the best lineup. I think that's the way forward from now on.
All
But
right,
yeah,
so
with that being
who's your
said,
lineup?
goalie, De Gea, right back. I'm going to start with left back because right back, I'm not sure. Left back, Luke Shaw. Centre backs, Varane, Bailly. Right back, because Dalot in the system, Dalot was doing well. So I think right now I'm going to pick Dalot. Even though defensively he's no, but right now in that system he was doing well. So Dalot, and I'm going for the 4-2-2-2. So obviously Pogba's the only player Ralph said that is not available. So in the two, okay, I'm going to start from the top two because I work backwards. Because I don't know. Okay, the top two, Ronaldo and Rashford, Sancho, Bruno, Van der Beek, Fred. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. One thing you said there about Dalot, I think he's good defensively. I think because of how good Wan-Bissaka is defensively, everybody that you compare to him directly in that aspect of the game isn't going to look very promising. But I think Dalot is underrated defensively. But going forward, being able to link up the play, look, Wan-Bissaka's ball retention is very good. He doesn't lose it that much, but it's not as easy on the eye, which is where the criticism comes from. But as well as me saying that, I think he could speed up his play a little bit. He could make a few better decisions, which is what I think Dalot does, which is why I think he has the advantage over Wan-Bissaka in this system, I guess. But going on to my team, I can't remember who said a centre-back at all. But today I'm going to go with Varane and Bailly. I think
that's what I said.
That's my dream partnership. In goal, we have De Gea, obviously. Right back, I'm going with Dalot. And at left back, I'm just going to stick with Tellers, man. Dalot and Tellers look like they fit this system perfectly. I know Tellers isn't as good as Shaw as a player, but in this system in particular, I have to go with Tellers because it's high octane pressing. You're getting balls into the box, and Tellers' set piece delivery his delivery into the box, his ability to blow past people on the left, like overlaps and stuff, is very, very good. And I think it's just a bit better than Shaw. The only thing that Shaw has over Tellez right now is his defensive ability. Tellez looks very suspect going backwards. He's not made any bad mistakes, but he just looked like something's always about to happen. He looks out of position. He looks a bit almost like a deer in the headlights to a certain extent. In the middle, I'm going to go with Donny and Fred. I can't think of anybody else that comes in. Obviously, McTominay's there, and he probably will start. But Donny and Fred, could you do Donny, Fred, Dread? Let me call them Dreads.
Dread.
Dread in the midfield. It's dreadful for the opponents. That's how I'm gonna see it. That's who I want to start, because with Fred you have high energy. Same with Van der Beek, but with Van der Beek you have an improved passing. You have improved transition, improved play in the transition, speed in the transition, better decision making, better positions being taken up. I'm gonna go with Bruno and Sancho as the two attacking midfielders in that free role, I guess. I'm not going to start Rashford. I'm going to start Greenwood and Ronaldo. You two gunmen up front. More often than not, when they take a shot, it goes in the back of the net. And
Guys just shots left, right, and center.
yeah, that's what you want. In Ranić's, the way he wants to play it is, when we get the ball, we need to get a shot off within 10 seconds. Would you rather have that shot being taken by Rashford or Greenwood? Because Ronaldo is not in the question to be dropped. For me, it will be Mason Greenwood. The
How
one thing
I was seeing is that Rashford offers the option for the ball over the top or for the free ball.
Yeah,
he makes those runs. He stretches the defenses.
I know Rashford's one of his main attributes is his pace, but let's not forget Greenwood isn't a slouch. Greenwood can keep up with Marcus Rashford. He's posted faster speeds than Marcus Rashford. I believe it. I can't remember the season. It might have been last season or the season before. He was Manchester United's fastest player, Mason Greenwood, by about half a kilometre an hour, which is, I would say, quite a lot when he gets to the top of the speed charts. He's not slow. He just doesn't abuse his pace like Marcus Rashford. He's more of a,
that's what I mean. His gameplay is he doesn't make those runs. Rashford is the one that makes the runs. Greenwood kind of wants to be on the ball.
If in this time between our last game was Norwich, I think. If in this time between Norwich and today, Ralph Rangnick and his new assistant coaches and whatever have had a word with Greenwood like, you're not slow, you're fast. We've got Rashford up there who's making all these runs. We're not saying to you make as many runs as Rashford, but utilize that option a little bit more, because then you might have a few more opportunities and goal. Think of that goal against Leeds on the opening day of the season. Pogba played it through to Greenwood. That's just an example of how he can use his pace. And at the end of it, finish from what is a pretty tight angle.
Yeah, that was
not many players would have been able to. Yeah, I don't think Rashford scores that. And that's what I mean. That's why I'd rather have Greenwood, because you have that option, which he's not going to use as much, which in theory means that we're going to try and keep the ball a little bit more, try and pass it around a little bit more. But when he does get in those positions, he's absolutely deadly. Obviously, Ronaldo's here now, so Greenwood's not the best finisher at the club. You don't score over 800 goals and not be the best finisher wherever you go. But I would rather have Greenwood and Ronaldo up front. You have two gunmen, shoot on sight, which is what Rangnick wants to do. And all I can see is goals, just raining goals. And then you have Rashford off the bench. You have Martial, who I haven't even spoken about yet, who I also might have started over Rashford today. But Cavani, everyone's saying Cavani, Ronaldo up front. Not for me, to be honest with you. Well, not today. Remember, we're playing against Newcastle. We're not playing against Liverpool or City. We're playing against Newcastle. They're not doing very well this season, and we can definitely take advantage of them. Because all I'm thinking about in my head is the Crystal Palace 2.0. The way we dominated Crystal Palace in the first 30 minutes was extraordinary, and I believe we can do exactly the same to Newcastle for quite a bit longer than that.
You mentioned Martial. I've heard like many transfer rumors. I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
He wants to leave. Did Rangnick say that? Did he confirm that? Or
I didn't hear what Rangnick said about Martial and his agent, but I don't know if it was clickbait. So what I'm about to say might not even be relevant. But apparently he kind of damned Martial and his agent Probably something to do with the fact that he's said he wants to leave. That's all I can think of. But one thing I have seen, it was MUFC PB or something on. I'll have to find it on Twitter. They're quite a reliable source. They're almost like a tapping merchant. They tweet stuff when they know for a fact or it's just about tapping. They don't speculate. But apparently, Manchester United are gonna use give Martial to Marseille on a loan deal in January to stop Newcastle from buying Kamara. I'm not for this. I'm just completely against that. You're talking about Martial, one of the highest paid players at our club, has been one of our best players for the past few years. Expressed his desire to leave because, look, he's in and out of the French squad when he wasn't before. He's not getting a lot of football. And who can blame him? You're going to effectively pawn him
But this is the
or use
best
him as a
time for him
pawn.
to be in this club. When we play with two strikers, this is the best time, best opportunity for him to play Champions League football for Manchester United. This is the best.
It is the best time, but that's besides my point. My point is, I almost feel a bit disrespected on Martial's behalf that we're going to send you to Marseille so we can stop Newcastle. This isn't Real Madrid, by the way. This is Newcastle United from buying a player that's worth around 10 or 12 million euros. I don't see the logic. I don't see the respect in that. It's almost like, oh, all right, get out of the club then. We're just going to send you away so we can sign someone else and stop Newcastle from buying someone. I don't like it one bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Martial and his agent bring that up at some point or use that as another reason to get out sooner, not on a loan basis, but it might even be, oh, you want to loan us out to get someone else. We're just going to go permanent. We're not going to let you do that. We're just going to leave instead of leaving on loan. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like it's a bit of a wrong thing to do. I'd just rather keep Martial at least until the summer. Is his contract up in the summer?
I don't know. Let me check.
I don't think it is.
The thing is, if he even goes on loan in Jan, he's still only 26 years old. Come back after his loan, and who knows? Cavani will be gone, and he could be here to stay. So, or Cavani could go in Jan, and then we keep Martial.
Oh, I also saw on that page talks between Barcelona and Cavani have like heated up in the last few hours, and we're ready to terminate his contract so we can go to Barcelona. Look, Cavani's been trying to get away from Manchester United in I'd say respectful. He's been very respectful about it. I don't think, or I haven't seen that he's done anything, unprofessional. But if we're gonna get rid of Cavani in January for definite to Barcelona, one, we have to keep Anthony Martial, but also we're getting linked to Julian Alvarez from River Plate. We have to get that deal done because he's worth their value. They want a 20 million pounds River Plate, but we're only trying to give 17 million. Again, if we're linked heavily to this player, we're the front runners and we can get him in January, but we don't want to pay an extra 3 million pounds. And then he goes somewhere else in the summer because someone else just gives the 20 million. And then we lose Martial and now we have to look for a whole nother striker. All it does is just show the deficiencies that we have as a negotiator.
What if that other striker turns out to be Haaland in the summer?
Well, that's just what if.
Yeah, because maybe it's all part of the plan. He's trying to clear out the player he doesn't need to make space for the players that he wants.
Yeah, but you could say that for anything. Like, oh, what if we're using Kamara as a smokescreen because we're going to get De Jong instead? Like, if it's Haaland, then cool, but we haven't been linked. And with a transfer that big, you would be linked from months ago, surely. That isn't something that just pops up. You get little flashes of it. Someone tweets about it, but it might get deleted, or a big account might hint at it, or Haaland, not even straight to United, Haaland's looking to leave Dortmund. And it doesn't. That now was about the time, almost gone, that we would start to be hearing the Haaland away from Dortmund rumors, Haaland to United rumors, especially when United are involved. So I don't think that we'd be getting Haaland in the summer. And again, if we're not paying an extra 3 million for an Argentinian, I think he's Argentinian, striker from River Plate, and we lose out to another team, man, it's just same old Manchester United, isn't it? We got Ranić, but same old Manchester United.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the lineups that we both predicted, and we're both saying it should be Bailly and Varane. So if that was actually to happen tonight, who do you think would be captain then?
It'll have to be Fernandes if he
Fernandes.
starts. If Fernandes starts, it'll be Fernandes. If Fernandes didn't start and Maguire didn't play, I'd have to say probably Ronaldo or De Gea as senior members of the squad, because could you see Fred with the armband realistically?
No,
Exactly.
never.
It would have to, for me, if Maguire doesn't start, then you'd have to give the armband to Fernandes. But if Fernandes doesn't start, because I don't think he would have against Brentford, then you'd have to give it to De Gea or Ronaldo.
I think De Gea's ahead of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo doesn't captain club sides.
Not that often. He's done it a few times. Captain United twice or three times. Real Madrid, I think twice. Not Juventus.
I actually wonder why that is.
I think it would have been the same as the Rooney thing, because before you would have definitely noticed the change that the armband had on Rooney. As soon as he got the armband, it's almost like the fire got put out, and it was just like a bit of smoke left from the candle. It just lost a bit of that raw aggression and that fight. Almost like, oh, okay, I'm the captain. I have to keep that level head. I have to take away a little bit of this from my guy. I don't want to see that happen to Ronaldo.
No, because with Ronaldo, it's different for his country. When he's the captain for his country, he really knows he's the main guy, but then it adds that extra pressure to him to deliver. Whereas for club, I don't think he really necessarily needs that pressure, that added pressure.
He doesn't need to be captain.
Level. Yeah.
Look, he's won everything he could have won in the game, apart from the World Cup. He's captained his Portugal side to two international trophies. He's captained Manchester United. He's captained Real Madrid. Didn't captain Juventus. Didn't need to captain Juventus. He's won everything. I don't think it even matters to him. I don't think he cares if he puts the armband on. All he cares about is going out and scoring a goal and winning the game, obviously. There will be players that care about the captaincy more because that's what they strive for. Players like Maguire would definitely strive for the captaincy, 100%. Ronaldo probably think, oh, if I get it, I get it. I'm not too bothered. I just need to go out and focus on my game and make sure I help the team win. But as well, I'd say more in the modern game, don't really think it matters who wears the armband. Everyone crowds the ref anyway. The only thing the captain does is the coin toss, and when the ref says, I need to speak to the captain, everyone else get it. That's pretty much it in the modern game. Then you have, now I'm talking about on the pitch, but then outside, Maguire talks about, he organizes like the meals and the link-ups or whatever, but anyone could do that. I don't think it's that important to wear the armband on the pitch.
Yeah, moving on. Left and right back. So we're saying Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka don't get into this team right now. Or you said, wait, you said that low as well, yeah. So you're saying right now, Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka have to fight for their place to get back into this squad or under this system.
Yeah. And it was just a matter of timing because Ranić came in when Shaw and Wan-Bissaka were out injured, and it just so happened that the two Latino boys, Tellez and Delo, performed exceptionally well in the first game against Crystal Palace. They played decent against Norwich, but to be fair, the whole team didn't play the best. The game against Young Boys was Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, and we didn't win that, which we should have. But at the same time, we played a youth squad basically, or we played a very depleted side. I think you can clearly see that the left back and right back positions at the moment go to Tellez and Wadallo. But as we said at the beginning, 2 weeks is a long time to not play football, especially as a Manchester United player when you're used to playing 2 to 3 games a week. 2 weeks can change a lot. Our teams might be completely wrong, by the way. Fernandez and Sancho might not start. It might be Van der Beek in that position next to, I don't know, Amad Diallo, something like that. You never know. But my choices going off from what I saw from when Ranić came in, it would have to be Diallo and what's the guy's good name? Tellers.
Wait, does Ranić just play 4-2-2-2? What's the other formations he plays? Is it doesn't it?
4-3-3 and a 3-5-2.
So with the 4-3-3, is it like a 4-2-3-1?
I would think so. Yeah, I can't remember exactly
Because I don't know why. Like I had a thought yesterday about us playing 4-2-3-1. Going back to that again.
4-2-3-1 is the staple formation of most football clubs now. It's very well balanced. I think if any manager at any level plays the 4-2-3-1, I would be surprised if that's not in his inventory, to be honest. But it's not something I've seen him do with us yet. And
so I was thinking maybe we go back to that and have Ronaldo as the lone striker, Sancho on the right.
I don't know. I like
left,
Ronaldo in
Bruno.
it too, man. I like it. I like
But
this
obviously
two
the
up
two,
front.
yeah, the two has been doing well, so I guess he probably wouldn't change it. Also, it's Newcastle necessarily don't really need to change it. Newcastle,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they play 5 at the back, and they
I think
play
so.
5-3-2. I'll quickly check.
I believe they do. Look, I'll be real. I actually don't care what formation Newcastle play. It's not a game we should even be approaching like that. What formation do we have to play to counter them?
The thing
It
is, I
should
don't
be.
expect the most from us. I'm expecting maybe 3-0, but from when I watched City play Newcastle 2 weeks ago, City did not get out of second gear, but yet they put 5 past Newcastle. It was too easy. The way City played, they just pass it around and they just score such easy goals. I'm not expecting us to be like that. I expect us to probably have to work harder to get the goals compared to City, who just remain in second gear. But obviously, I still expect us to win and hopefully keep a clean sheet.
I expect a clean sheet as well, but last time we played Newcastle was on Ronaldo's comeback.
4-1. I remember that game.
Yeah, that was a good day, man. I'm just like,
How can he just come and just score 2 goals?
it was the celebrations to me. It was the fact that it went from yeah to su, and it was just such a vibrant noise. It was so clear. That's not something you usually hear. The only other time really heard that is when Barcelona fans were chanting Messi's name, and I think that says something. But we concede a lot of goals. We rarely keep clean sheets, and I don't think we're gonna keep any more clean sheets under this
No, I
system
think we
because
will.
it's way more open.
Because
I think
the past games we played, apart from the young boys, when we've had our team, like the first team, we haven't conceded.
yeah, but
I think we're more defensively stable. Our press prevents the opposition from really getting. Remember when we played Palace, they couldn't get out. When they got out, the only way they could get out was by pinging the ball and then we win the ball back. That's the only way they got out. They couldn't really pass it out. And if we're playing to that intensity again, we didn't show against Norwich for whatever reason, but there's no excuse today. They've had 2 weeks out. I think if we play how we did against Palace, they won't really have many opportunities. Maybe from just set pieces, and that's all.
Look, as I said before, with the COVID thing, we have to be careful with the no excuses because it could be look Schrodinger's cat. That's what I said to my friend the other day. Is Schrodinger's cat this situation because we don't know what goes on inside the club. We don't know how many players were infected, what players were infected. It might have just been fringe players that were infected, or it could have been almost a whole starting 11, regular starting 11 that was infected. We don't know what their fitness is like right now because even De Bruyne said a short while back, I had COVID last year and I'm still feeling it now. Like my stamina is not there right now. We don't know what type of a side in terms of fitness is going to come out tonight. So you say we've got 2 weeks off, no excuses. But I say 2 weeks off, they might have all like COVID. They might be mashed up right now. So they might only be able to do that high intensity stuff for 25 minutes. And then they have to change it because they physically can't go anymore. You know, that's
true.
If you guys don't know what Schrodinger's cat is, it's cats inside the box. You don't know if it's dead or alive, but you don't open it. So that's pretty much it. And that's the analogy
I get that. Obviously, with COVID, we don't know how players react. Everyone reacts differently to COVID. And I was watching Match of the Day yesterday, and they were talking about the substitutes. How there's the debate around 3 subs, 5 subs. Obviously, Christmas period, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, there's matches. That's a tradition in the UK. We can't change that.
Yeah.
But the 5 subs, surely we should be having 5 subs. Not obviously the clubs ruled against not having it, because obviously lower teams, they can't compete against teams bringing on what, Sterling, Foden, Man City's bench. If they brought on
Grealish.
5, if they brought those 5 players on, it's unfair. While it's Norwich are bringing on who? It's not fair. But at the same time, COVID is a thing.
Yeah.
Players, you can't just have COVID and then come back and start sprinting for 90 minutes. That's not fair for the players. Obviously, it's fair for we want to be entertained, but at the same time, these are still human beings, I feel.
Do you know what I think as well with the substitution thing? You see in the Champions League, I mean, not just Champions League, but European games or continental games, you have 5 substitutes. In other leagues, you have 5 substitutes. But the reason, as well as the reason you gave, was because that the clubs didn't want to vote for it. I think it was because we kind of just thought that this country would deal with it better. We didn't think we'd be back in a situation where we're isolating again, or we're doing this and that again to do with COVID. So 5 subs being a permanent thing after COVID might have just been a bit of an overstep. So keep it as 3, keep the football as normal. But in hindsight, 5 subs would have been better, because you can't just go, oh, Omicron's here, let's give 5 subs. Because I don't know, that it might just spark up a massive debate. Maybe if it was challenged harder last year or whenever the other COVID was, it might have been different now. But I can agree with when managers, I think Tuchel and Klopp have been the main ones talking about it, about not having 5 subs. I can understand their point of view, but that's hindsight. It's captain hindsight. You're looking back. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, isn't it? But I think it would be best to keep it as 3 now, because if you change it to 5 now, COVID sorts itself out, or you're gonna still have 5 subs in 2025. Like, I'm someone who doesn't really like to alter the rules of a game that we've been playing for hundreds of years. I guess I like how it is. I don't really like change in that sort of sense that much. I just think you need to utilize your substitutions better. Don't bring someone on for 5 minutes. Never understood that. Not just now with Man United, but never understood it anyway. If you see a player slowing down a tiny bit in the 50th minute, take him off. Doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes after half time. Just take him off. Then you can utilize your squad better, and this 5 subs thing won't be as much of an issue. That's just the way I see it. But I'm not a manager in it, so.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Obviously, as you said, hindsight. But right now, I think obviously lower teams would just struggle if it was 5 subs. It just wouldn't be fair. At the same time, players, like, understand Tuchel's point. He was saying that Kovacic has just come back from a long-term injury, and now he has to play. Obviously, that's probably not the best thing.
But why does he have to play?
Because they have injuries in their team. Well, actually, no, he doesn't actually have to play. That's what actually I don't get, because you have youth team players.
Yeah, that's what just about to say. That.
Yeah, you have a whole squad. But yeah, I don't.
Oh, sorry, you just reminded me of something. Hannibal Mejbri or Mejbri, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. The Arab Cup runner-up with Tunisia. Yeah. I was actually watching those matches. I'm not gonna lie, before this year I'd never heard of the Arab Cup, but that is a very well backed tournament in that part of the world. I'm looking at full stadiums, like I'm gonna have to hazard a guess, 80,000 people packing out a stadium. Mejbri played well in that tournament, and I think off the back of that, Ranić definitely would have been watching. He looks good, man.
What position?
He was playing on the right / attacking midfield for Tunisia. Coming up through the youth, he was playing attacking midfield, centre forward, centre mid, I think, off the flanks as well. He's good. He's a good attacking midfielder in the sense that he can play, I guess, anywhere across the front 3. Not like central striker, but anywhere in that position. He's definitely going to be utilized. You just reminded me talking about youth players for Chelsea, but even look, he's probably going to make the bench. Yeah, he's a cam. There's some rubbish on my screen. Bad dusty. Yeah, he's a cam. I like him a lot. People are saying he could be Pogba's replacement. I wouldn't put that pressure on him just yet, but he's a similar type. He's a very skillful, technical dribbler. Only thing I don't like about it, I don't think he's rapid. I don't think he can.
You don't need to be rapid to be a cam or a centre mid.
Nah, just when you need that extra yard, he just doesn't have that yet. Maybe he might develop it. Maybe he might work on those leg muscles or whatever, the fast twitch muscles, blah blah blah. Yeah, an academy game. Look, I think because of someone like Greenwood who came through and he was actually dominating youth games and putting in stats that Messi would put in his time at Barcelona, everyone pales in comparison. And Hannibal is someone that I don't think has even been that far off Greenwood, not in terms of numbers, but in terms of the gap in quality between him and the rest. You've got him, you've got Hugil or Hugil, don't know how to pronounce that either, and you've got Charlie McNeil. Those three, over the next couple of years, you're going to see a lot more of them. And I'm hoping that, Hugil and Charlie McNeil might even make it onto the bench this season, but Hannibal's someone that's definitely going to be, I give him 5 to 10 first-team games this season. Between now and the end of the season, he's a real talent.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity is there. Our next few games, obviously, Newcastle today. Who knows? Well, he couldn't be on the bench today, obviously, because he's just played in the Arab Cup. But our next games are very winnable games, games where we can rotate or bring in some youth players. They can make their debut. So, obviously, Newcastle tonight, Burnley on Thursday, Wolves on Monday, obviously, Aston Villa FA Cup on Monday, on the 10th of Jan, Villa again on the same week away, West Ham, Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, and then we have Champions League. So those games, potential games where we can bring in some youth players or have more rotation in the squad. Obviously, we can probably find out what Ralph's first team 11 is, and then we'll see who his second 11 is that he trusts and can also win games. It's just like similar to what Pep does. Pep knows, well, Pep is actually, Pep's just different. He doesn't have a first 11. Everyone's good enough to be in the first 11, really, in City. But for United, we need to have like our first 11, and then we know who's our rotation squad. That's what we need. Because under Oli, it was just everyone's just getting burnt out because they're playing every week, same team, the same 11 every single time.
I actually, you know how that
was so silly.
Confuses me. Looking back, how did no one pick up on that? Not one management. Well, it might have got spoken about, but the fact that it didn't get actioned, you've got. Look, by the time the end of the season came, our players were actually running in quicksand. They were running in mud. Knees must have been in pain, like serious pain. You know how knees. You know when you play football for like 3 hours.
Yeah. I know the goal sessions where you can't even feel your feet, you can't feel anything.
No, trust me, the session ends when everyone's just walking around because you can't even kick the ball properly anymore. I'll be in goals and I'll be trying to find a way to kick the ball without hurting my foot, and it's just,
exactly. You find the part of the foot which hasn't been the ball hasn't touched.
You're taking left foot. You're swinging with your left foot at this point. That's what they must have felt like for weeks. Like Fernandez must have been going into matches thinking, "Raw, I can't even kick the ball like that anymore."
No wonder why he was passing the ball with such power. He just wasn't making it, and then that's why everyone's thinking he's not a good player anymore. That's probably what he thinks. And then
I said, passing the ball with such power, you just got to put your foot through it, man.
Yeah, hopefully when we don't get back to that stage. Ralph obviously he's brought in his assistant coach. Who else did he bring in?
Chris Armas,
sports psychologist,
an assistant manager, and there was one more. Don't know what job title is, but we're still trying to get Jesse Marsh, by the way. And I really want Jesse Marsh, former Leipzig manager, but before that he was at Salzburg. American guy, he's American. I like him. He just didn't do too well at Leipzig. It just didn't go well for him. If we were able to get him in as well, I think, oh boy, we'd have a good like coaching setup, like a really good coaching setup there. But maybe it might be too much for just a 6-month stint, if you know what I mean.
But yeah, the future looks bright. Hopefully, we get the win. What's your prediction for tonight?
8-0, bro.
8-0.
I'm joking. I'm going for a 2-0.
Only 2. If we get 2, we're gonna get more than 2.
Nah, I think we'll get
Think
2.
about
One early in each half. That's what I think. Because
So
we'll
you're
start the
saying-
half off quick and intense. And I think that's when we'll grab the goals.
Ronaldo is gonna get a hat trick. That's what I know. Ronaldo's getting a hat trick, and we're gonna win 3-0.
He loves Newcastle, to be fair. Got his first hat trick for Man United against Newcastle.
And he's gonna get a hat trick again. That's what happens with history. It's gonna write itself again.
I remember it. He was wearing orange Mercurials.
I remember those.
Yeah, man, they were nice. The red kit, orange.
I still actually can't believe he plays for us.
You know, I was thinking about that yesterday. You know, like never mind.
We actually have Ronaldo in our team. What's going on? Why do we have Ronaldo in our team?
And this isn't. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. This isn't some finished Ronaldo. This is still a Ronaldo hasn't he scored 50 goals this year or something like that. He's still banging in goals for fun at his grand old age of 36.
Well, I know he's still the top goal scorer this year for Juventus.
Yeah, and he hasn't been there since August. So,
but yeah, we didn't pay for him, did we? We just paid for
mil.
his. We just we didn't 15 mil.
Yeah, 15. Yeah,
only for Ronaldo.
Yeah, it might have been 12 or 15. I can't remember.
But obviously his wages as well.
Oh, they're crazy. They're crazy. Don't watch the wages.
Is it like 500k a week?
I don't think it's that much, but it's Ronaldo. I don't care.
No, it must be.
There's probably only 2 footballers in the world who deserve even more money than that: Messi and Ronaldo. Maybe Neymar, but pay him what he needs, man. We got him for 15 mil. Think of it as a free transfer,
basically. But yeah, I think that rounds up this show. Obviously, Prem Talk will be back after these New Year's and midweek games, because there's quite a few games. So we'll just round up the Prem Talk after these games. Obviously, the fantasy is not going well.
We don't watch that anymore.
All these postponed games, I just can't be bothered, because what can I do? When I try to change my team, I can't. And then I have postponed players in my team. What's the point? Fantasy just end it. It doesn't work.
I'd rather have the points on the board than the possibility to get points back with these postponed games. That's the way I'm seeing it. I'm too far gone. I was too far gone anyway, man. I was clinging on to a string. I was like tooth floss or whatever it's called.
But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.